Hey everybody, Jason Schneider here, founder of PerceptionAcademy.com, and I find myself saying this a lot these days, but today I'm going to tell you and share with you genuinely one of my favorite and one of the most powerful presuppositions of neuro-linguistic programming. And that is the presupposition that everybody has all of the resources that they need already within them. And if they don't have access to it, it's not a matter of that they don't have that resource, but it's a matter of being able to access that resource, amplify that resource, and then apply it in the situations where you need it most. So let me give you an example of this. Let's say, for example, hypothetically, that somebody was to get frustrated when somebody cuts them off in traffic. And I know that's not you, that's never you, it's never me. I've never been frustrated when somebody cuts me off in traffic, but hypothetically this could happen in life. And we know from one of the previous presuppositions that there's got to be somebody in this world who actually remains cool, calm, and collect when they get cut off in traffic. So the physiological response of being frustrated or being angry has nothing to do with the actual external situation. It has to do with the person's model of the world. That is what's working perfectly well in order to create this response of frustration. So going back to this presupposition that I'm teaching you in this video here, it stands that there is a time in that person's life where they have the ability to remain cool, calm, and collect. Perhaps it's right before they fall asleep at night, or perhaps it's at a time when they were laying out on the beach and just collecting in the sun, and perhaps there's many examples in that person's personal history where they are cool, calm, and collect. And so it is not a matter of them not being able to remain calm in certain situations, or to be calm, or to access the resource of being calm and collected. It's that they don't have access to that resource in the situation where they're getting cut off by a car. So using the tools, the techniques, the patterns, the processes, the skills of neuro-linguistic programming, we as programmers, as neuro-linguistic programmers, as neurosemanticists, are able to actually harness those resources from that person's personal history and be able to amplify them up and apply them in the situations where they need them most, or where you need them most, so that you can then access your full resourcefulness and have more control over your state, more control over your responses to the world. So another amazing thing about this presupposition here is that as a coach, or even just as a person who's trying to lend a helping hand to a friend who's going through an issue, a lot of times we tend to give advice or share from our personal experience. We tend to operate from the assumption that they don't have what they need, which actually can cause more harm than is at all necessary, because when we operate from the belief that they have the resources within them, and we actually, through working with them, allow them to pull those resources out of their own mind-body system, it just leaves them so much more empowered for the future to solve their own problems. Imagine how much more empowered that they will be when you allow them to harvest their own resources to solve the problem, then rather than thinking that you, as the coach, as the practitioner, as the wizard or magician, you gave it to them. It's much less empowering that way. So as you move out into the future, keep in mind that you and everybody that you communicate with have all of the resources you need in order to be successful at whatever it is, and in order to respond in any way that you want to. It's just a matter of finding that resource, amplifying that resource, and applying it in the situations that you need it. And neuro-linguistic programming and neurosemantics actually gives us the most robust toolkit that we can ever access to be able to do that, to program our neuro-linguistic computer. So I wish you a wonderful day. I hope that this tip is valuable for you. Feel free to leave your questions, comments below. Subscribe to the channel if you're interested in getting more things like this, and check out the blurb below the description. I'm sure that there's some valuable information in there that can help you to install this a little bit more deeply in your life.